Make him happy.
Today, we finally finish up the early 90s Yazoo Mower, hopefully. Giving up on the bracket that is an adjustment bracket, so I'm hoping I can just directly mount it to the controls.
Hold up. What Crazy Carl and Kit forgot to mention here is that this is a John Deere transmission from a John Deere lawnmower of undetermined year and model. We attempted to get Yazoo transmission gears, we attempted to get Yazoo transmission, but all of them were outrageously expensive, so this one can made up. Maybe. Crazy Carl's gonna attempt it anyway. Back to the video.
But the JB Weld repair has held. I am putting those brackets there. So.
JB welded your lawnmower frame together.
Well, it's not going to be technically structural. It's just holding. It gave a mount point for these steel brackets. They're going to help reinforce it.
If a viewer really wants to see more like crazy, like stupid stuff from this one, that one right there, give him welding lessons and sponsor us with a welder or something. And
I will.
Goodness gracious.
I will build all kinds of crazy stuff. You'll come in here and there'll be cars welded together for no reason.
Will be sketchier, but the right way.
And I left the bolt ended on the wrong side. Wrong north. Okay. So I gotta put these in before I put these in.
Pay attention to, or pay no attention to the fact that half the casting is busted on this transmission.
Yeah.
That is less than half the size.
It's not the right transmission for this lawnmower either, but it matches up for the most part. I never could find anyone that had the right transmission for less than what it costs to buy a new lawnmower. Alright. Now I gotta do this, and I've got to tighten all that in. I've got to put...
I don't know why he's got anodized bolts, for color-matched bolts for lawn.
It's color coordinated. I bought them for another project, and it just happened to be their high tension strength, so they'll help hold. Plus, they were the right size, and I had them. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to put Loctite on this.
Wah, wah.
I'll do that when I get on the other side.
So the main question about this project, that why we haven't done it yet, is...
Yeah, you have a bracket that went between this and this, which is the speed control, and it was really just meant as an adjuster, and it also put a spacer in there, and this is square and that had kind of an oblong. I am hoping that I can make these match up, because that bracket is gone. I have no idea what happened to it. I'm starting to suspect it got thrown away somehow. So, I'm going to try to make those match up. Wish me luck. Lack of room.
Does this need to come up some more?
It's going to have to, but I wanted to get it started so I didn't have to try to dig for the belt.
Is somebody just doing an experiment over there, like Mythbusters style, on like if you can kill somebody by running over gravel?
I don't know. If I get my hand out of here and line these bolts up on this side, see if I can lift this side up.
Careful, don't smush my fingers. I'm just trying to get this belt under there a bit more.
Okay, got that started. Now I gotta line those bolts up with those holes and do that side. Then I can drop this out and it'll lean forward, but I've got to get this started. I probably get that side up, but I got the belt started, so I should be able to finish it. I still got a safety connector to do and that stuff to line up.
Does this go into this hole?
On the old transmission, there was a shorter bracket that's welded to the transmission block that went up to it. This one has this plate, which I'm going to have to remove because it doesn't match up. Then I'll have to modify it. Oh, actually, no, the old one didn't have anything here. You connect to this one, and then there was no hanger on this side.
So it's this bolt hole.
It actually went to this, and I'm not entirely sure. It may have been supposed to have some sort of bracket. I'm going to put a bracket.
Yeah, you can always drill another hole.
Yeah,
and...
I'm going to put a bracket on that side to help reinforce this so it doesn't do its twist thing. But I think that's why this side failed, is there was no bracket on this side.
That makes sense, actually.
I'm just worried that I'm not going to get the transmission to match up. And it's not going. I'm going to have to be very creative because it's still a long
Every time
ways.
you change speed, just reach under there and turn the switch yourself.
I'll have to put this back on it. I have technical difficulties in the fact that this pulley is where that needs to be.
Move your hand. This no gonna work.
No.
Dang. You put wedges under these bolts so the whole thing sits sideways.
Yeah, I'll have to get longer bolts.
I don't know how this is supposed to work. What are we doing?
So this is the bracket that came with it for the lawnmower. This clears this pulley, but I can't put a bolt over it. There's no way I'm going to be able to use the original controls. So what I'm going to do is turn this bracket upside down, which is slightly shaped, so that'll make it so it fits tight. I'm going to put a little thread lock on this square, and then bolt this on, press it on with the bolt that came with it, and then rig something up so I can shift gears from this side. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. The good thing is, I think the brakes will hook up right. They're in the right place. Okay, so I got the bracket pressed on. And I'm going to have feet over here, so I'll figure out some way of doing a linkage or something over here. And I've fed, since it won't reach, for the time being, I fed the neutral safety switch up here, wiring, and hooked it to the one off the old transmission, so I can bypass it till I figure out whether or not this works. If it works, I will figure out a way to extend that wiring and get it over there to it. Part of the linkage adaptation. Got brackets and plate and brakes and everything attached. Now I'm tightening this side down. Had to get some flare bolts because the bolts are a little too short to use a washer with, so I got a flare bolt to go with it.
This stuff's broken, actually. This bracket over here, but
A little bit. It's got a crack in it. It's not completely broken. If this actually works, I'll probably have to take this all down again at some point to rig the shifter. At that point, I will do the same repair I did on this side on that side. Because it's just spinning right now. And I gotta figure out how to get this to hold. I'm having problems with it. It's going into the ratcheting mode. I bought one set of these wrenches and they're the only ones that haven't vanished.
you'll have to cut a groove in the side of the mower to have the shifter thing slide out.
Well, you could have a bracket. I'm thinking I can put an arm here off of this and pivot it and have it pivot back and do it that way so it shifts back and forward. But and I could probably use the connector arm that's like up there, But that's a future. Of this style of lock washers stacked with spacers, such as one spacer like this and then one old just a nut with these in between to make a lock link between them so they shouldn't shift once they're tightened down. And these went between everything, so every time there's one with the bolt, both sides of the bolt, spacer, washer, bracket, washer, and then bolt with a regular lock washer on the bolt to lock the bolt on. So hopefully this will secure it and it'll all work. I had to rethread a bolt because the only bolt I found that was the right shaft size was all rusted up, so that was fun.
We're going to disregard this. This isn't the speed control.
It's decorative now. It's not the gear select, it's decorative. The gear select's over here now. Which, if this all works,
maybe we could bring
then
that
I've got to
over.
rewire everything to see if I can get it to work with the neutral safety switch. Right now I've got it bypassed and connected into the old neutral safety switch on top. We think, well, it is connected. I just don't know which way is which. So to play with that, but
if it's looking for ground or if it's looking for open.
yeah. But that's only temporary. I don't want to cut up the wiring before I see the transmission will actually work.
Well, is the belt on?
Yeah.
So if you put this in a gear, technically right now, if you start it up, it should spin the shafts.
Mm-hmm.
We're back with Floor Carl.
Yes. After many attempts, I've got to use one of the old brackets off of this to make a connector for the shifter. And after snapping 2 bolts, I got a harder bolt. Instead of coming down, went up. Used some red thread lock on this bottom one so it won't spin. Used blue Loctite on this one. And I'm working on bolting this down.
The right way, the wrong way.
Yeah, upside down, which makes it a little harder to tighten, but it should work a lot better.
If you think about it, it's going to be harder to tighten since it's upside down.
Oh yeah, I know.
Is it only occurring to you now?
No, I knew this, but after snapping 2 bolts, I decided this was going to be the solution. Because I couldn't do this one the other way.
Just don't get your hand crammed in the,
Yeah, this is the hard part. I keep having... Now I gotta push this shifter all the way forward. So I can adjust that.
I'll stick with the cheap modern version of that. We've got lawnmowers coming out of our ears, but this one has been sitting in here for as long as I've known Carl, which...
It died in 15, and it's currently 24, so it's been sitting here almost 10 years. Well, no, it died in 15, so almost 10 years.
Just want to get it out of the way and maybe play around with it. $20 transmission might make it do something. Might make Carl a little bit happy. You may only have first gear.
Well, I should have them all at this point.
5 miles per hour. What have you done?
And I have shifter.
Reverse is forward. Think of it like a normal car automatic transmission where you pull the thing back.
I still don't like the
Except
fact
without
this
park.
is still moving a little bit.
Where's the parking brake?
Over there. You engage the brake.
Yay. Now put gas in it and fire it up. I'm impatient.
Aren't you getting ready to go get food?
I'm gonna trip over that.
I gotta do a little bit more with this, but yeah.
I don't know if they can see anything.
I don't know. It's shifting. It's still wiggling a little bit. So I gotta do something to try to stabilize that. Well, these lock washers are not locking.
Okie dokie.
Okay, I'm trying to film by myself, but it lives. Run once. Let me see if it'll start again. The thing has a nice pull start, so it lets you bypass. The switch is off. I've zip tied it up. It is in neutral, but it doesn't have to be. Not grounding. Yeah, it's not making a good ground. I'm gonna have to put a zip tie on there. The ground's better. Hopefully that'll do it. Let's try it again. So it runs, drives, and works. And I kind of flooded it a little bit, so. But yes, I've got transmission. I've got a way to control the transmission. I can start it. Nice thing about pull start, it has an electric start, battery's dead. I've zip tied the safety neutral switch there, so it bypassed until I can fix it, which will be when I make a permanent solution for the shifter. This no longer does anything, so that's decorative. Decorative only. Alright, I'm hoping everything recorded. I don't know. I'm doing this by myself. A little smoky. But yeah, I think I've got it. And so now I just got to put the wheels on. Which, as you can see, there's little channel locks that this will go on. Their wheels are going to stick way out, which works out for that shifter. I've got to see if I got to put another spacer on this side, because I probably do. I don't have one. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, I still have a good bit to do, but that's fixed. I wonder if I can use a board and a drill. I may use a board and a drill. I got this wheel on. I'm missing the spacer on this spacer on this side, so I used a couple of big nuts I had and put a new clamp in it and got it. So you got to put a key in it. You see this side, I put anti-seize on this, and you have to set this little keyway into the slot here and into the slot on the wheel, which you can see in there. And make sure you grease it good with anti-seize before you start it, because I forgot to do that and getting that back off. I've got to change the washer setup. The other thing is I had stuff I forgot to do, which now I got to find the parts that have gone flying. But under here, I'll show you under here. There's a bolt that locks the belt in that goes right there that I had to take off to readjust the belt, because I had to take all this down again and readjust, because the tensioning pulley sits inside of the drive pulley. It overlaps kind of, which is awkward but works. And I had to undo this tension rod so I could pop it, pull it back. I had to take this down so the pulley was loose, and got it all in there. So I got these all bolted up and this all done. And so hopefully I'll have this all together and finished here before too long. First I got to find where that bolt has gone to. There it is. It's a double nut, as you can see. This double nut. I'll back this one out, put that one on. I'm going to use a little Loctite on that so it don't work loose. And that should be it. And then get the wheel on and maybe sharpening that blade. Technical difficulties, but as you can see, keyway, anti-seize, anti-seize. I lined the key up. Now I've got to start working it on, and I will pound it in with a dead blow hammer and a board, and then a couple of 4 or 5 layered paper towels and a large socket. This is a 1 5/8, but whatever, so you can get some paper towel in there. Try to protect it. You're still going to booger up the paint regardless what you do, but at least it keeps it from damaging it too bad. Using a towel would probably work better, but it's a lot of hard work, but it'll get in there. Okay, and as you see, with the towel in there, it sits rather in there. And that's all. Plus, I took that shackle, I don't know if you can tell, but I took the anvil and a hammer and closed that shackle back up like it should be, so it wouldn't get stuff all stuck in it. You just keep going until it meets up. It's getting there. Take it, and you see that you can see where the capture ring can go. I'm going to try to use the original. I have a replacement because the last time I tried to use the original, it broke. Sorry, I'm exhausted. It's late. Alright. Capture ring, ring pliers. And, well, if I can get the hey, and I was able to use the original ring on this one, which is a heavier duty ring. And I have something I do. Broken screwdriver, as always. It's over here. I'll take this broken screwdriver, one that's got flat, that's got the tip broken off of it, so it's kind of flat. And go there, and I'll tap that in gently with a hammer. Make sure it's seated perfectly. Be careful, you don't want to hit it over the keyway, because that'll dent it. But just either side of it, and just tap it in, make sure it's all tapped home. And then that's done. And then I just got to figure out how to rig that up. And while it's up in the air, I may take the blade off of it and sharpen it. But I've got a grinder to sharpen it. So either you'll see me sharpening it, do some other stuff with it, or this is the end of the video, depending on how this processes. So if you enjoyed, please like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, ask them. And until next time, have a good one. And as you can see, all the tires are on and working. So I'm tired. I'm going to clean up. This is probably just extra junk. Maybe not. I don't know. But that's it for tonight.